And we're now joined in studio by international affairs analyst Dan Perry. Good evening. Good to see you. Columbia University Business School Professor Shai David has had enough. He announced on Twitter that the Columbia University has opened an investigation into his advocacy for Jewish and Israeli students, faculty, and staff. And this investigation is a clear act of retaliation and an attempt to silence me. Shai joins us live now. Thank you for being here and good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
You're very brave, and we've all been following these stories up close and personal, seeing what's happened on these college campuses around the country. Even in October, when we first started hearing from some of the students who spoke up in these press conferences, has the anti-Semitism still continued even 5 months later on campus?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's a question that I get all the time. And the answer is it's not only that it's continued, it's become worse. It's become worse and worse, right? So things that would have shocked us in the beginning of October, right? The rhetoric of from the river to the sea, we don't want two states, we want all of 48, all of those things, globalized intifada, are now something that has become normalized, that people are just desensitized. And the things we're hearing now, for example, at Columbia's campus, are things like death to the Zionist state.
I found myself wondering, what do you think is the reason for this? I do distinguish between anti-Semitism and anti-Israelism, and I don't discount the importance of anti-Israelism. That itself is a profound thing. Why is it happening? Are they kowtowing to progressive students? Is this something that the university is promoting? Why are they so confused about the fact that to have sympathy for the Palestinian plight and national cause, as I strongly suspect you do, is really not the same thing as supporting Hamas in any way? Why would they even flirt with supporting Hamas? Why is it happening?
So first of all, I've spent 4 months thinking that they were confused. And for the past month, I think that they're not confused. They refuse to take action. There are many different reasons for this. And if you follow my actions on social media, you will see we have professors that are not academics, they're ideologues. They indoctrinate the students. They have gone on record saying that they don't apologize for Hamas, they support Hamas.
Wow.
We have student organizations that have been acting with complete impunity.
I went to UPenn. These things were never issues. It's unbelievable how much, I won't age myself, things have changed where professors have to be afraid of students. I remember being a student, and I had so much respect for the professors. And
look, these universities used to be bastions of liberalism, and now they're bastions of progressivism. I am actually an alumnus of both Penn and Columbia, and I feel shame right now because of what's happening. It really is unbelievable. And I would like these universities to have some moral clarity. Please, Professor Levitin.
I'll tell you, everything boils down. So I would say they're not bastions of progressivism, they're bastions of illiberalism, right? They've gone so extreme, right? But I will tell you, everything boils down to this rhetoric of powerful and powerless, right? And the student organizations, even though they act in mobs of thousands of people, they perceive themselves as victims, they perceive themselves as the powerless, and then a single vocal Jewish professor speaking up is perceived as the powerful. Now, I don't know about you, but when I started university, I was focused on just learning and making sure that I do good in my classes, do well in my classes. Well, I guess if you see your professor at a pro-Hamas rally, then you think I'll do really good at my class, I'll do really well in my class if I hold a bullhorn and shout in Arabic during this pro-Hamas rally.
Crazy. We have one more minute. Last thoughts. We could go on like this forever because this is just it's mind-boggling still.
Look,
even
really
all the reporting on it, it's mind-boggling. This is happening.
Spectacular moral failure. The universities should treat support for Hamas as they would treat support for the Nazis or for the restoration of slavery, and that they're not doing it really is disgraceful. But I think for a little bit of perspective, we should know recent polls have showed 70 to 80% of Americans do support Israel. The minority that doesn't is very loud, very vocal, and overrepresented dangerously with the youth. And of course on these elite campuses, which we bemoan. But in general, America hasn't yet fully lost its bearings on this issue.
Well, hopefully the ship could be steered before it's too late. Thank you both very much, and keep fighting the good fight. And Dan, thank you very much. Have a nice weekend.